What are you tracking for today, actually?
It's going to be completely different than what we saw last night. We're actually looking at some very calm weather today, but like you saw there, now that we're starting to get some daylight, we're able to see more and more of the damage. So I won't be surprised to see many more reports come in about downed trees, damage to buildings, down power lines as well. But we are going to see a calm day today. So if you do have to do some cleaning up, today is going to be some great weather for that. A live local report, Washington. We are looking at a calm start this morning, a beautiful sight out there, and it's going to stay calm today. Winds are going to be a bit breezy. Right now, surface winds are out of the west-southwest. They'll switch to be out of the northeast as we move into this afternoon, and we are still looking at some winds anywhere from about 5 to 15 miles per hour, but we'll have some gusts close to 20, mainly closer to the lakefront. But you can see how the winds are going to shift throughout the day. First to out of the northwest, then out of the north, and then out of the northeast as we move into this evening. And when you get more of that easterly component, we're going to see some cooler temperatures towards the lakefront. So most of us will get close to 80, though some places close to the lakefront will stop in the upper 70s later today. That line of storms now off to our southeast, bringing some severe weather, unfortunately, to the Ohio River Valley eventually later this morning and into the early afternoon. For us, we're looking at the rain now out of the area, completely gone, and we're starting to see some clearing. So up towards Fond du Lac and Sheboygan, and you saw that view from Port Washington, able to see some of the clearer skies off to the north. We'll see that continue as we move throughout the morning. So clearing skies, more sunshine today. Temperatures will be cooler than yesterday, and more importantly, the humidity is going to be lower than what we saw yesterday. I'll break down that coming up in just a bit. But throughout the day, again, more sunshine expected. A great day to get out and about. And again, if you have to do some cleaning up, unfortunately, at least you'll be able to get out and about with some all right weather. Taking a look at what you can expect today, temperatures are going to mix of upper 70s and low 80s with dew points closer to 60 rather than 70. So it should feel a bit more comfortable across the area today. 74 as we move into tomorrow, more sunshine expected, and actually looking at a pretty sunny weekend ahead. There is a chance for a couple thunderstorms on Saturday, not looking like an event like we just had overnight last night, but just keep that in mind if you have any afternoon plans. We'll keep an eye on that as we move into the weekend. Otherwise, cooler temperatures and more near average as we move into next week with more sunshine on the way. Also continuing. Adriana?
All right, thanks, Marissa. Taking a look at traffic this morning, everything is looking pretty good across our interstate system. We're seeing everything pop up green on our metro area travel map. As of right now, there are no reports of trees blocking any intersections or anything like that, but that could change as we head towards later on in the morning. But if you are traveling out this morning and you do have power out in your area and you're traveling for your morning drive and you come up to an intersection that doesn't have power, and just remember to treat that intersection as a four-way stop. Also, watch out for down power lines and use extra caution this morning. But as of right now, the interstate system, as I mentioned, looks really good. It looks like that pavement is drying up. So let's take a look at some drive times for you. If you're traveling from Brown Deer to the Marquette interchange, that's a 9-minute commute. Marquette to Moreland, that's 9 minutes. And Layton Avenue to downtown, that's a 6-minute drive.
Still ahead this morning, a 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games update. The COVID numbers among athletes as the games continue, and the event scheduled to happen today at the Olympics.
Welcome back, everyone. Now for a 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games update. Tokyo Olympics organizers today reported 24 new games-related COVID-19 cases, including 3 athletes.
Latest daily cases have brought the total games-linked number to since July 1st to 193. Isolation and the absence of family and friends beginning to take a toll on some of the athletes' mental health at the Tokyo Games. Some reports struggling to cope with the challenges posed by the pandemic while also carrying their country's hopes on the global sports stage.
So here's a look at some of the events that are happening today. This is the 3rd day of men's and women's individual preliminary rounds for archery. In badminton, mixed doubles quarterfinals, men's and women's doubles quarterfinals, and singles rounds of 16. And today also kicks off golf and the opening round games in baseball. The beach volleyball preliminary rounds and men's and women's field hockey preliminary rounds continue at the Olympic Games. An American star gymnast Simone Biles has pulled out of 2 competitions at the Tokyo Olympics to focus on her mental health. Since she made this difficult decision, support for her has been flooding social media. Take a look at this tweet from Biles. It reads, quote, "The outpouring love and support I've received has made me realize I'm more than my accomplishments and gymnastics, which I never truly believed before," end quote.
Here's a look at the medals race. This is brought to you by Robert Hack Diamonds. Right now, the U.S. remaining in first place, 13 gold medals, 14 silver, and 10 bronze, making for a total of 37. China following in second place with a total of 29 medals, and the Russian Olympic Committee sitting in third place with 25. You can catch all of the action here on TMJ4, but also through social media. All you have to do is search for TMJ4 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and we are posting the latest updates from the Tokyo Games.
All the information you need to start your morning. This is TMJ4 News Today.
Right now on TMJ4 News Today, neighbors across southeast Wisconsin waking up to storm damage this morning after tornado warnings in multiple counties expired just hours ago. And good morning, everyone. You are watching TMJ4 News Today. What a night, right? I'm Susan Kim.
And I'm Vince Vetrano. We're going to start this morning with team coverage of the severe storms that ripped through our area overnight. Right now, more than 43,000 We Energies customers are still without power. We have meteorologists Marissa Wallison and Kristen Kershane tracking all of that for us. Adriana is going to break down any impact on your morning commute. Ryan Jenkins is looking at some storm damage to the west of Milwaukee. So we'll start with Marissa. Most importantly, Marissa, the severe threat for our area is now over.
Oh yes, completely done and over with. We had our last round of severe thunderstorms push out close to about 3 o'clock this morning, but really we had a lot of lightning and the strong winds between about 10 o'clock for those of you up towards Fond du Lac, all the way through about 2 and 3 o'clock, eventually with those storms exiting out of our area through Racine and Kenosha counties. But here's an update on our latest storm reports. Again, I do expect a lot more of these to come in as now we are looking at daybreak, but Kenosha looking at some large branches down the southern side of the city. We had a lot of reports out towards Lake Country and through western Waukesha County. This one in Wales, reports of multiple trees snapped and laying along the roadways. Overnight, there were a lot of reports of roads that were blocked as crews were trying to move those trees out of the roadways or even the power lines too. I do assume some of them have opened back up, but don't be surprised if you live in some of these areas trying to make your way to the main highways that you may be running into some of those roadblocks. As we take a look at a couple other spots, Sullivan tree damaged, tree down on Highway F and E from Sutherland to Concord. Oconomowoc, we saw that earlier with meteorologist Kristen Kershane. A tree snapped near the base in downtown Oconomowoc, potentially struck by lightning. And there were also some reports of lightning sparked fires, though they were quickly put out with some of the rain through the area. Up towards Erin, large trees down along Highway 167, and then also farther to the west, we had multiple trees down. Again, I do expect more reports coming in now that we're seeing first light of the day today. I am tracking some calmer weather, but before we get to that, let's send it out to meteorologist Kristen Kershane, who's in the storm chaser, looking at the latest damage. How does it look out there, Kristen?
Hey, Marissa, good morning. We are in Oconomowoc, and we were driving through downtown Oconomowoc, and now we're a little bit farther outside of the city, still just kind of doing a survey of the area and seeing what we find. While we were in downtown Oconomowoc, we came across what looked like one very large tree that had likely been struck by lightning. The tree was almost kind of blown apart. Part of the tree was on the other side of the road. We came across that, and one of the smaller trees along kind of the main drag there in Oconomowoc had been ripped down. So 2 different trees that had some damage. Otherwise, we didn't see a whole lot. We had some wet roadways and plenty of leaves blown around in the street. As we take a live look outside now from the storm chaser, things looking pretty good for us this morning. Still have some cloud cover, but a pretty nice view out here early this morning. So we're going to continue to drive around. We'll see what else we find out here. And of course, we're going to check back in with you on the news at 6. For now, back to you.
All right, thanks, Kristen. And as Kristen showed you with that storm chaser view, things look really good where she was as far as the roadway. It looks like that pavement was drying up, and the pavement is drying up across the interstate system as well. But be prepared. There might be some trees down on some of those side streets. So as you're traveling out in your morning commute, just use some extra caution out there because you might run into some of those tree downs, maybe crossing some of those side streets. So use extra caution. So if you do not have power where you live and you come to an intersection that does not have power, remember to treat that intersection as a 4-way stop. Also, watch out for down power lines this morning and just use extra caution. That is the main message for your morning commute. But as of right now, your morning drive across our interstate looks really good. We're not seeing any crashes or delays or any reports of any other issues out there. So let's take a look at some drive times for you. If you're traveling from Oconomowoc to the Zoo Interchange, that's a 19-minute commute. Grafton to the Marquette, that's 18 minutes.
All right, thanks very much, Adriana. Our live team coverage continues now. We're learning more about the storm damage in those western counties.
Ryan Jenkins is live in Concord. That's a small community just southwest of Oconomowoc. It's actually just over the border into Jefferson County. Ryan, what do you see there?
Yeah, good morning. So far this morning, I know there are reports of trees down in this area where we're standing on County Highway F, just south of 94. Nothing major, just a lot of small debris like this scattered in the roads. But about a half hour ago, you might remember that I found some insulation on the ground. I was holding that and explaining that it was too dark to see exactly where that came from. Well, now that the sun has come up, I think we have a better idea of where that likely came from. You see that shed or garage there with the roof completely ripped off. And as we take a look around with me here, you can see that that insulation spreads all across the grass in this area on the side of County Highway F here in Concord. And then you see these downed power lines and a power pole that was ripped out of the ground this morning. And I was checking on the We Energy's website already this morning. More than 4,800 customers here in Jefferson County are waking up without power. That is probably part of the reason why. And again, this morning I did check in with the sheriff's office, talked to a dispatcher there who says no reports of injuries that she is aware of. But as the sun comes up out here, we are getting a better picture of how extensive the damage here is after those overnight storms swept through this area. We are going to head down the road a little bit further, check out some of the other damage that we're hearing about just up the road, and we'll check back in with you soon. For now, reporting live in Concord, Ryan Jenkins, TMJ4.